Welcome, Sexy Wookiees, to another episode of the Sexy Wookiee Squadcast. We have concluded reading Star Wars Ahsoka by E.K. Johnston. Then, welcome to the Rebellion. It's your boy, Sexy Leader.
Hey, it's your girl, SexyOne.
Hey, it's your simp, Sexy too.
Let's go! All right, it's football, so we're filming this while there's football, some sort of football going on.
American football.
I was gonna put on a Raider shirt just to piss everyone off because you guys know me.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, for people who don't know me, I'm a ride or die Raiders fan. I am still salty there in Las Vegas. I will always call them the Oakland Raiders.
And then I, being a Niners fan, just no, we can't get along.
That's fine. That's fine. You know what? No, that's fine.
But we have fun.
We have fun. All right, let's get into it.
All right, let's go with the easier question. So we talked about how we wanted one sister to die, but they both made it out. How do you guys feel about that?
I you know how I feel about my predictions, but I think we gave really good reasons why it would really work and make an impact if one of them died. And so when both of them made it out okay, and then just for no particular reason, Vartan gets freaking maimed and, almost killed at the last second. And I'm like, so these two make it out unscathed, and every other last person except, is it Selah or no, wait, what's the guy?
Zelda? No, Zelda makes it.
Zelda makes it, yeah. So we really, I don't know, I'll get into him later. But yeah, so these two are fine, and everybody else just gets toasted, except the unnamed farmers that make it off the thing. And so I'm like, but if you're going to be that graphic with the violence, and so you really want people to feel something when they're reading it, you need to make it happen to somebody we care about. Mm-hmm. Or if your goal is to make us feel, it needs to happen to someone we care about, whether or not you're graphic about it or not. And so I feel like it was a missed opportunity. So, I mean, it's nice. And I think that it achieved everything for Ahsoka's character that she needed. But as far as their stories, if they had any at all, I think it would have benefited from them, like one of them losing the other, or I don't know, being injured somehow, like irreparably, like Vartan was. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was disappointed.
Oh man, well I'm gonna start off with don't live on Rada, you won't lose a limb. Just to continue you were saying. So yeah,
you're not wrong.
I'm not going there if ever. That's why it's good.
But it's like I said in the first episode, these people are dumb and they all are gonna get killed. Like, they are not long for this galaxy, and most of them did, so that turned out to be right.
A lot escaped though.
Name 4.
Zelda, Vartan, Miara, Kaden.
And who are the rest? Those are the only 4 we know.
It has the numbers in the book. I just don't remember them because I was pissed about something else.
Oh man. So let's see here. Well, here we go. We agreed a lot with last week's episode of what the faith of the sisters would be. And then now reading this kind of gave me a different perspective. I like the turnout of what the sisters become. If there's no other questions regarding these sisters, I'd like to just give my answer with where they end up, if that's okay.
Yeah,
go for it.
So yeah, they end up with the rebellion, like we know, right? And I think that's the more perfect ending to these sisters. Not what we thought what would happen, whether one would die or either both would die. I like these sisters better than the sisters that we see on the Clone Wars season 7 the Clone Wars season 7. I like these sisters better. I like the Larte sisters better, and hopefully they end up doing Blast Doors. But
Larte's
yeah, I
Blast Doors.
mean, they are definitely gonna contribute to the rebellion now, to this rebellion that's gonna be rising, right? And the ones in the animated series, it was more of like Ahsoka met them, and then it was she couldn't get them out of what they were going through, and so it was like, okay, friendship ended now that Bo-Katan comes back, and then so things just, I was like, why is that even part of the series? But yeah, so I like the ending of these two sisters, and how they were gonna join, or whatever they were gonna willing to join, but they joined I think they joined the right side.
Well, yeah, it's the right side. Question for you though. What do you think Kaden's going to contribute to the rebellion? Miara, I think it's a little more obvious. She's actually got skills. But is Kaden just going to be a farmer?
No, well, I mean, so that's what we did saw, right? The people who did survive, that one of the things would have been, let's create food for, the soldiers of this rebellion, of this new rebellion. But maybe it could be that. It could be, I think she'd be a great leader, because I think Vartan at this point is just, I'm just going to retire on Alderaan. I don't have anything. I've done what I could done. His purpose was to save the people of Rada, and
I'm
get
just
their,
picturing this poor guy after all he went through, retiring on Alderaan.
that's it. He's
Thinking,
gonna meet
Alderaan is
somebody.
Nothing will
pretty.
ever happen here.
Vartan,
Oh,
he's gonna make a
Poor Vartan, he can't catch a break.
this poor guy. He's gonna be like, look at this beautiful planet that I'm retiring on. Oh,
Like,
god damn it! What is
just-
that?
Safety and comfort for the rest of my what?
you'll have a good few. I mean, depending how bad the injuries are, that we don't know. I mean, he'll have a good time. He'll
I
have
mean,
a
he
good.
survived. He lost
a
a
pretty good
couple
time
limbs,
he'll have, I know.
though, but he survived.
Whatever.
What was that joke that Zelda made? He's like, "Ha, we have 4 limbs between the two of us."
Oh,
Between
right,
the two of us, I love
right.
that.
I was like,
Yeah.
this dude, I want to be his friend because that's hilarious.
So yeah, I mean, we've seen it where kind of like Vartan took on Kaden, as kind of like a predecessor, right? Is that the correct word?
Yes, I think there even at one point, he or somebody pretended that he said he would have liked her to take over the team after he retired.
Right. So I think it's, yeah, there you go. So it's the clearly passing of the torch, and so if they are gonna do new crops and food for this new rebellion, then what better way for her to increase her leadership skills in that field, a field she already knows.
A literal field.
Well, I mean, I guess I'm not too upset that they both survived. I really did like our predictions, though. But if Kaden is going to end up being a farmer, then maybe she could be one of the team leaders as a farmer. Because, I mean, Ahsoka's right. The rebellion does need to eat. So,
Rebels gotta eat.
yeah, that's a
Oh, yeah.
job. It's a very important
must.
one. What are we without the farm workers?
Mhm.
So, I think that'd be really good. And I like that they took an interest in Miara and her explosives and all that. So I guess it's not too bad that they both survived because they both could still contribute and do well for the rebellion.
Yep. I mean, good for our side. So fine.
Yeah.
Let them live. Who's next? Who do I get to rip apart next?
I think you know what has me so upset.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that.
This isn't even a question. I just
Just-
need a vent. I just need a vent, and
Point
I want to
number
hear your
2.
guys's on.
Inquisitor.
What did I say? I literally put, let's talk about Sixth's unremarkable death.
I was kind of reviewing some of our girls, she's throwing things now. Oh my
It's a spell,
gosh.
I swear.
Uh-huh. Uh, you had said when we first started talking about Inquisitors, and I was wondering if this sixth one was one that we should know from another story or video game or something, and you said no, but that their numbers are based on their rankings of how talented they are or something. And
Yep.
so he's sixth from the top. I don't know what that means because I've never seen how skilled the fifth or the seventh one is. So
Pretty
if
skilled.
that's the case, I'm pretty sure I could take the fifth brother or sister myself, because this guy, what a chump. I had high praise for him when he first showed up because I thought he was very logical and not given over to emotion. He seemed to come into the situation, look at things, deduce things that nobody else had noticed, even though they really should have, and make logical, good decisions. And flushed out these insurgents immediately from the obvious hiding place and decided to use a hostage as bait to get his prey to come back. Genius. I was like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. But then we get down to action, and what happened there? Ahsoka took him without using any weapon, and I had to read it a couple times because I was like, wait, it says she blocked the lightsaber attack or diverted it, but with what? Just the Force? So this guy doesn't know, like, and maybe this isn't a new canon thing, maybe this is old canon, but one of the first things a Jedi learns is to, when you're in battle mode, you put up basically a Force shield to protect your immediate area and to keep any other Force user from using the Force to divert your attacks. So he didn't know how to do that. So is he not Force sensitive, or he's just not trained? I thought Inquisitors were ex-Jedi, or maybe not. I don't understand what happened here, because
So from like what I've read, people feel free to jump in on the comments. From what I've read, some of them are ex-Jedi. The Grand Inquisitor, he was one of the temple guards. So
well, that explains how the temple fell.
So they have some kind of Force sensitivity, whatever training under Vader and the Grand Inquisitor. But I don't think it's as thorough of training as it would be for Sith or Jedi, at least from my understanding. And then I know that in the Clone Wars they covered this, and I think probably in books, hopefully someone please jump in, that when the crystals are like really going at it, it's really easy for them to explode and it could be deadly. Like when the younglings were building their lightsabers, they were like, don't do it wrong, or like you're gonna lose your life.
Okay, that I kind of get that if she could harmonize with the crystals, she could get them to sabotage his weapon. Right? That made sense to me. It was just the fact that he was attacking her and she was somehow blocking or diverting his attacks, and to the point where at some did I read this right? Because I read it twice. She slowly reached out and touched the hilt. So I'm like, was this guy just not moving? Like, why? And it's going on like, oh, well, she's, in a meditative state and everything's fine, and he just relies on brute force. I'm sorry, brute force works if you're against a smaller unarmed opponent. You've got longer reach and a weapon that I assume has a really long blade. Like, she would never get close enough to the hilt if he was doing it right. So I was very, very confused. And then the crystal exploded the lightsaber, but the crystals are fine. So the crystal didn't explode. I don't know what happened here. I don't know. But I have to tell you that as soon as she was thinking, oh, I'm gonna find a crystal, and it's on Rada, it's close now, I immediately knew it's his crystals, because he's got a double-bladed lightsaber. She's gonna get the 2 crystals, which means she is gonna defeat him, take his crystals from the thing. And so the second that clue was dropped, I immediately knew how it was going to go. I didn't think it would go that stupidly and anticlimactically, but it was disappointing that like it was so easy to figure out. And then how in the world did she have enough time to heal the crystals in the middle of being pursued? I thought that took hours or longer. But I don't know. I guess she healed the crystals, got the other components, rebuilt her lightsabers, and it worked. I don't know. I was like, this was too easy. I thought that she was really going to meet her match and would have to deal with some things and reevaluate some things and really embrace who she was in order to find the strength. And it was just like this guy was just really, really bad. Sorry, sixth brother.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I didn't even want to see what this Six Brothers picture looked like because I said I would look at it after I read this book. If you guys, for both of you, we could just put it on our chat on another day, then
Has anybody looked it up? I still don't know. What
I did so much research. I did so much research. Like
send it on the chat.
Yeah,
the
Send it
sim
on the
was
chat.
at it.
Because now
I'd like to see what he looks like.
now that we're talking about it here, yeah, send it privately to our.
Oh, I did all the
the
research
chat.
on him because I was like, this can't be it. I fell
Bring
in
a
love,
bad
added him to
name.
the boyfriend list, and then that just made his death piss me off even more.
What a chump. He doesn't deserve to be on the boyfriend
now
list.
you can just you can cross him out your list and just.
Oh yeah. Embarrassing.
Yeah, but you know what? Sometimes the bad guys
He's
are
so
a little
loyal.
fun.
He's not bad though. He's just bad.
This simp is loyal, okay? Look at the colors I wore for him. I mean, not really. It's a comfy shirt, but it just happens to be black and red. So,
I'm sorry.
sorry, Ronald. Keep going.
Yeah, no, I don't know where to Okay, I'll start with this. Sexy 2, proud of you that you know your Rebels history.
Apparently
if there is
not.
anything to be corrected, we'll see you on the.
No, I
the
messed
comments.
up.
But I'm also
couple
proud,
episodes
Sexy
ago.
1.
Oh yeah, you
knowing
totally
your-
messed up one thing that you told me was wrong last week, and it turned out to be absolutely the way
I
I,
need
thought
to
it was going to be.
rewatch this show because they kept focusing on another guy being Fulcrum.
Look
and I
at
was
me,
like, what?
never seen the show, and I knew something that you didn't know.
I watched the show. They were like, he's
Premonitions.
Fulcrum, he's Fulcrum, he's Fulcrum. I'm like,
Premonitions.
okay, I guess he's Fulcrum.
She was first.
Premonitions. No.
Rebels,
But yeah.
you need to be more clear.
So I'm telling you, it's a title. And a bunch of people have it.
But yeah, shout outs to Sexy 1 also because you know your Jedi history from Legends books because that's an angle I don't even know. And supposedly I'm supposed to be the Jedi of all the Jedis in this group, but
I'll
no.
teach you the
That's
ways.
a good thanks for giving that insight because when I listened to that, I was like, whoa, that seems what you were saying there kind of you can say is they try to read back on things about Jedi or whoever advised this team that's writing this book to understand Jedi kind of like takes the old stuff but then turns it to something else different. But I'm gonna just leave it at that. I don't want to say any more with that, but good insights on both parts. Yeah, I'm speechless.
My
So,
reaction exactly.
it's like we could have just had Janeth and whatever lieutenant.
Okay,
or,
what happened to him?
Janice,
word.
didn't he like
No
run
word.
away or something?
He
No
just
word.
disappeared from this.
He
There
bounced.
was one.
You know that meme where the person's just disappearing? That was him.
Yes.
Take your money and bounce.
What was the point of
Take
him?
your
Why was he
credits.
ever in this
Take
book
your
to begin
credits
with?
and bounce.
Yeah, take your
Never
credits and
paid
bounce.
It never paid off. There was no point to him.
He took his credits and bounced. That's what he did. So
He dipped. He was like, bye.
He was smart enough to just get out of this book. He's
he
like,
knew
"Nope."
no, but that's true. He knew something, not this Inquisitor, but something bigger than the Inquisitor if he were to stay. So shout outs to Janeth for leaving.
I like how you keep calling him Janeth. It's Janeth.
I like it. No,
Janeth?
Janeth is better.
Janeth, yeah.
He sounds like the Karen of the Empire.
He is. He is. He just came, stirred up trouble, and then pieced out, and nobody noticed. Janeth. I'm changing it.
So, but okay, going back to Six Brother.
Anyway, focus.
I had high hopes that this, like, if this is one we were gonna see early on, then even the Grand Inquisitor, like, come on, give it like a bigger, kind of entrance to this formidable group that these Padawans, or Padawans who have escaped Order 66, to be able to give some type of like fear. But what ends up happening is that uh it shows that even Ahsoka at the end is clowning on the Sixth Brother to Bail Organa. So
I
it's
know, like, no wonder they have this dude chasing down children. That's all he could handle.
Right.
And he couldn't even do that. He never even found Adala.
It's like, okay, we're not gonna extract the first Inquisitor by rank. We're just gonna pick one to do the first
Eeny,
mission. It's
meeny.
gonna be the sixth. And
Yeah, who's
the
available?
six had so much on his shoulders.
Yeah, he asked the
you
seventh to
fell
cover his shift.
too easily. And I think it's just they used as he was the lackey, so that the rebellion or the rebels can find out who and what they're up against, until they meet the head guy, robotic head guy. But that's it. We'll leave it at that.
Okay. Jasmine, your boy.
So I had to do research because I was like, this can't be it. He's in some
Is that
comics.
right?
He's in some comics. I looked
Oh,
at
is
his
he?
pictures.
Okay.
So he's one of the ones that I mentioned before. He's in comics. There's another one. Spoiler alert, not really, because this is how many years old? 10. He's also, I think, just in the comics. So there's going to be some.
He's got to be really lousy.
So there's going to be some Inquisitors that are just not in the shows or movies. They're going to be elsewhere. But yeah, I did my research. His name is Bill, and I love him.
Wait, no. Is that
Like-
for real?
Before he was an Inquisitor, yeah.
His name was Bill?
Bill.
Okay, still.
I think Wikipedia had his last name or something, but I skipped over that.
All right, I'm going to have to go look this guy up now.
Yeah,
I was like, it's fine. He can take
too.
my last name.
Find that too. Let's find that too.
But yeah, I
seems
did
like a
research and I was like, damn, he seems so cool. Because in the beginning of the book, he was very smart, very
Yeah, he
level-headed. I was like,
was.
I dig this, and then like he's just trying to do his job, and spoiler alert, in one of the comics, Vader just kind of rips on him for it, and it's like, dude, he's doing what you told him to do, but okay.
This is the guy.
Poor
But
Bill.
I don't know. I looked him up and I was like, he's so cool. And then I reread his death and I was like, man, justice for my boy.
Like, so basically, these Inquisitors, you just got to explode them or fire. That'll do it. They're like not even that hard to kill.
Okay, it has been a while since I've seen Rebels, but I thought for 7, it was kind of more of a challenge. One of them, his death was kind of dumb. His lightsaber broke. He tried to spin away and he went, wee.
Stop. No. It's like a Three Stooges gag.
But no, 7, Ronald, she was a challenge, right?
Yes.
And I think 5th.
She
was a
should have
challenge.
She should be.
I think
And whoever the one from the video game, that was a little bit hard to get.
that
I'm
was
so
2nd and
confused.
9. 2nd and 9, those were challenges in the video game.
Those ones were harder than 6.
So
Right.
2 is going to be higher rank than 6.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about 9.
Oh,
7 and
9. Well, because 9, she's a giant alien, like huge. Like she could just step
Yeah.
on you and you're done for.
She should have been promoted. I
They
don't know why
should
this
just
guy's
all
number
get
6. Yeah, Bill. He's
Look him
number
up.
27.
Look him up. He was actually pretty interesting. Like I said, I fell in love. I simped hard, and I was really upset about his death.
Why do I picture you just like writing your guys' initials on your data pad, and then when you find out what happened, you cross it out.
We're like, on to the next one.
Next. Yeah, that was.
But
that
I
was
mean,
something.
clearly, if you're saying in the comics, Vader's ripping on him too.
Well,
For
The
doing
person's
his
not
job, he
everybody.
was doing fine.
but the
Vader's
person-
just a dick.
or excuse me,
True.
the alien that beat the sixth brother was Ahsoka, which Ahsoka, being the Padawan of Anakin, should have just been like, once she finished the sixth brother off, it was like she should have just said all too easy and then left.
Like master, like Padawan.
Right? Exactly.
Oh boy.
All right, next on the list of people to
Sixth
insult.
brother.
I'm not gonna go there. Do you guys have any other questions before we get to the same final question at the end of each book? Anything you want to get our thoughts on? Because I mean, a lot happened, but a lot didn't happen.
Yeah, it just kind of everything just kind of wrapped up. And then we got the starts of the rebellion, which is what we thought would happen. So that was that. I don't know. Like, I think characters is where this falls apart for me. They're inconsistent. They come and they go. I can't tell who's important and who's not. Honestly, the characters that were the strongest that I cared most about are the established ones. Bail, Ahsoka, that's about it. Maybe little baby Leia. But then all the original characters that were introduced to in this, I have no sense of them, what their goals are in this universe, what they care about, what they fear. I don't know. It was very weak. And the only, I don't know why they kept mentioning the pilots that that worked for Bail that had tried to capture Ahsoka at first. Like, they kept name dropping them. And I'm like, should I know who this is? Like, are these guys important? Right. I don't know what that was all about, but it felt weird to me because I was like, I don't know who these two are, and I don't know why they keep bringing them up. And then, yeah, all the people that we had kind of gotten to know immediately, whoa, bless you, died all in a blaze of glory. Yeah. So that was bad. And then the one who was the most mysterious that I thought we're going to find out something important about this character, about Zelda, right? Because he seemed so important to everything. Like, he was the center of everybody's plans. They always went to his place. He always kind of seemed to know what was going on. He was immediately the most trustworthy person to everybody. He had a secret supply of, I don't know, injectable Bacta under his counter for some reason. Like, who are you? Like, why does he have prosthetics? Like, who is this guy? Why did Ahsoka almost seem to know him just because they're the same species, but they had some sort of connection? Like, I kept thinking that we were going to get something about him. Something was going to get revealed about his past, who he was, what he knew, and why he was hiding out on Rada also. And then we didn't. He just kept being this mysterious, reliable, competent character, and yet never had a scene, really. They just kind of kept showing up and around him, but he never had any action. And it was really frustrating because I wanted to know more about him. And then like we said, the sisters, I don't know. Okay. Like, they're fine, I guess. I just don't get a strong sense of an arc for them, or growth, or goals, or a change, or anything. They just, we're tough, we raised ourselves, we care about each other, and we know certain skills that they still know by the end and don't have any new ones. So I was like, I don't know what's going on here. Then the sixth brother, we talked about that. We talked about Janeth, who I thought was either going to get his comeuppance or was going to actually turn out to be like really smart and Weasley and have something up his sleeve, but instead he just adios right through the sticker portal, gone.
Unbelievable.
Just gone. I liked seeing R2. I liked Captain Antilles having some things to do. We only ever hear his name, and now he's running around and loyal to Bail. I loved it. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not that
Yeah.
inspired by it, and I find that the new characters were some of the weakest links in the story. But overall, the goal for me was to learn more about Ahsoka. I didn't know anything about her, and I find that I like her based on this book. Everything I knew about her from the cartoon and from other media, I didn't like her. And I don't like that she's just kind of so overutilized right now. She's in everything. And for someone who doesn't care about that character, I'm like, well, if all of Star Wars revolves around her, then like I'm losing interest in Star Wars. So I needed to learn something about her. And this book did make me like her a little bit more, did make me appreciate her story a little bit more. So that was the positive that I came away with.
Yeah, I'll agree with you, and also say that this would be the perfect time to watch Rebels from your standpoint. From your standpoint,
Trying.
Just watch it. Let's all do a group watch so we can
group
all
watch.
get educated.
But yeah, it's something you could try if you want to, and plus, like with her, this is not a spoiler, but being in the Mandalorian, and then also having her show, I would say skip whatever Clone Wars things you know about her, go straight to Rebels and moving forward, because it gets curious. And if you've ever done, which I already know you have, if you've done the Rise of the Empire virtual reality thing, then you will understand what like she is like, a part of the rebellion, and why she is still in the Rise of Skywalker as a Jedi voice. Okay, so yeah, I mean, you could if you want to. I mean, now I don't think I'm going to force you, because you've read
You're
the book with
selling
us
it.
now. You've read the book with us now, but
I do find
so
her story revolving around the rebellion a little bit more interesting to me than her Jedi Clone Wars story. That makes sense.
yeah, and it's like, it's not, I'm trying to show off now that I'm a Jedi in the rebellion. It's very low key, and I think that's the best way, because if we knew there were Jedi in the rebellion, like we could have ended we could have got all our Jedis together, ended this, war, but then we wouldn't have the OTs, and I rather have it the way we know it. So let me just stop there. Captain Antilles, I wish we saw a little bit more of him, opposed to the two pilots. Yes, I agree with you. The two pilots at the end, like, you still hold a grudge. That's not Star Wars to me. The moment you become, if Bail Organa says Ahsoka's my friend, immediately everybody in Alderaan, Ahsoka's friendly. Not I'm gonna hold a grudge after being kicked. Still, like, what Star Wars is that? And so yeah, I was like, yeah, don't even put the two pilots. I think Ahsoka could have talked more with R2. Like, maybe R2 could have gave insight to her, gave her closure, and probably would have gave her, an easier answer. But I guess Star Wars doesn't want to be easy, and you got to find out your path,
Yeah, sometimes
the way you
everything's
make
the
it.
hard way.
And so I'll take that. What else? Yes, the was it Zelda? Like, they put it so much into, like, his backstory of, like, oh, these two need to meet because they're the same species, and they'll get along. But yet nothing happened. Find
His
your planet,
story.
something. I don't know. But and he could probably, or Zelda could probably go on a what you call it, retirement too, with Vartan. That's fine. I'll take that as an
Oh,
ending.
best buddies in retirement.
Aw,
Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
could see
I would
that.
pay to watch that series.
Yeah. Those two with their prosthetics are just chilling on Alderaan.
But I think I'll end it with this. I think what Ahsoka's first mission, before even taking a mission as Fulcrum, go back, save the Fardy's family, and then take them to Alderaan, where they can be free and don't have to hide. That should have been like one. And take the people who could still fight, if they didn't know what they were going to do with the rebellion. It's not their home, or Alderaan's not their home. Like, go help Ahsoka save this family and just get them out, because the reward should be, to me, I think, this is my own personal opinion. If you're gonna do good for somebody, right? Ahsoka did good for everybody on Rada. The way to pass it on forward is you gotta go save that other family who's in that same type of fear, fear of the Empire, and pass it forward. Like, save them. So I think that's what should have been done, right? Because it's not about you're saving the people on Rada just to save them, and teach them how to fight. You had to have a purpose why you're going to teach them to fight against the Empire. And Hadala was the perfect example that they should have saved, and we would have had more Jedi.
I think she did save her. I think what she did is protecting her. That not moving them isn't necessarily going to keep them safer. Ahsoka's already learned that no matter where you go, it's not guaranteed to be a safe place. So I think she did right by the Farties. I think she protected them as best she could.
She gave them the heads up that they needed, because what else is she going to say?
Good points.
Exactly.
So no, good points. And I'm going to just say this. She was going to get a new cloak from Bail Organa, right? A beautiful one. A new hood. Yeah, a new cowl. Get a hood on that. You're badass now. You have 2 functional lightsabers that you can save that family, no problem. And a kick-ass ship that could totally save this family.
I don't think they need saving. I don't think they're in danger anymore, frankly. Especially without the dumb 6 brothers sniffing around. So they're fine.
Remember, the less that they know, the safer that they can be, because deniability.
Right.
Yeah, and the less times she shows up in a place, the less attention will be on that place.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay. So okay, I agree. And I'm a little bit more calm now.
I think it was I was a little worried that Bail was going to tell her about Leia.
And
yeah,
me too.
It would have been so easy but I like that he had that conflict. Should I let her know? Does she already know? And then he kind of gave her that little test with she's so much like her mother, just to see if she maybe knew, and that she didn't. And I was like, I'm glad he didn't tell her. I'm glad she doesn't know. That makes Bail such a stronger character to me, that he, even though it would be so relieving to let the secret spread a little to somebody else that would understand the significance of it, but he for the purpose of protecting Leia, he still keeps the secret, even from someone he can trust.
Right. And SexyOne said it the best. She said, Bail Organa, ride or die.
Or die.
Yes, he's a ride or die. I want to be his best friend.
Respect,
sir.
To keep that secret between Yoda, Obi-Wan, and him, and just like that is he's the senator version of a Jedi.
That the other ones are still alive. Like that's got to be so hard for him to hold in, but it ultimately is the only way to protect them.
This character, write more about this character, put him in more, Jimmy Smith's still out there, put him in more of these shows. We want him on Ahsoka, we want him on everything.
I was watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine with a couple of the episodes that he's in, and I'm like, yes, it's Bail Organa. I love you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like, it's just like an AU where Bail Organa's in a cop universe.
But SexyOne, any more to vent on these characters?
To vent?
Like you said, you had a lot, so let's
I had a vent about 6 brothers.
Empty the tank.
She just zoned out after the 6th brother was gone. She's like, I don't even know how the book ended.
That was for me. That was Colvin.
As soon as Colvin died, didn't care.
Yeah, no, I zoned out and I just rewrote some fan fiction. I was like, nah, he survives. He's cool. He's good. Just slap a Band-Aid on him.
I mean, for real, the things that people survive in Star Wars, he's probably fine, actually. He'll come back.
But overall, for the book, I did like it. But compared to the other books that we've read, I'm not even talking about Legends, but in new canon, this one felt very I guess kid friendly. Like it felt more like a kid's book than a young adult book, especially like I don't want to spoil anything, but in Leia Princess of Alderaan, like there's something like dramatic that happens, and I was like, oh my gosh, so I was kind of expecting that for this. I'm like, in some of the other books in the new canon, like dramatic things happen, and so I was kind of expecting it for this, and when it didn't, I was slightly disappointed. I do still really like E.K. Johnson's writing. I still like the book. I liked getting to know more of Ahsoka because I've always liked her. I've always liked her character. So I did like the book. It just felt more like a children's book than it did a young adult.
It did, and especially in the structure and the story, I think, and maybe even the characters. But then you get those splashes of like really graphic, descriptive violence and gore, and I was like, it felt so out of place. Don't you think that kind of takes it out of the kids book category?
A little bit. It kind of reminded me of Avatar: The Last Airbender. So it is a kids show. It's meant for kids, but it still touches on those heavy and difficult but important subjects. And so, when Ahsoka was like, I hate war, because she saw how Miara was like creeping through and was being like super careful now, and she's just like, I hate this. Like she shouldn't have to do this. And so in moments like that, I was like, okay, you get the adult theme, you understand like the significance of everything going on. So it kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah.
Overall, I like the characters. It was kind of hard to say that I don't necessarily love them, which you guys know me. I'm attached to like almost every fictional character. Yeah. Just look at my wallpaper on my laptop. It's
and that's
terrible.
why she's your simp, sexy too.
But yeah, it's just I couldn't get attached to some of them, and I was really rooting for them, but I couldn't quite get attached, and that was very sad. But I was really happy that we did get to see more of Captain Antilles. We get to see more of my homie Bail.
More Bail. Always more Bail.
Just always more Bail.
That's why I'm on the 10-4 today.
But yeah, overall I liked it. I didn't love it, which was really heartbreaking to say, because I really loved her other book that we read. So I was like, oh, okay, it's gonna be cool like that. And I was like, okay, maybe it's more it's more of a children's book, but not too bad. So I guess that's my overall thoughts.
At least we got some Bail, so it wasn't a waste of time.
And a little bit of Leia.
A little bit of little Leia.
Right.
And all the Ahsoka that I've ever been exposed to. So we're good. That's about it for Ahsoka. So nice to meet you, and hope to see you again, Ahsoka, in future readings, or if I ever get around to watching one of your shows. But as for the Sexy Wookiees, we are flying on to a new adventure in a new book, and that book is X-Wing series.
Ronald introduced your book.
Ronald, this was yours. Come on.
So X-Wing, Wedge's Gamble. No clue. Have not read it. Just read Rogue One. But I am fully excited to see what we're gonna. Rogue Squadron. Excuse me. Wedge's Gamble. What can we expect? That's all I can say right now.
Well, now we know all these characters, so this is the first time that we have done a second book in a series.
Yes.
Yeah, and following the first time that we've read a second book from an author. So we are back into some familiar territory, and we'll see how it weighs up against our experience with the first book. But I'll tell you, I'm excited to be back in an X-Wing. So
oh yeah, let's go.
Yes.
Permission to jump in the X-Wing and blow something up.
Which chapters are we reading for next week?
We are reading chapters 1 through 8.
1 through 8. That's not too bad.
Okay, join us, please. Join us. Like anything, audiobooks, hardcover books, whatever book you can find. Wedge's Gamble, used books. Read it with us.
And I have it on good authority that if you want to catch up on the Ahsoka read through that we just did, that the audiobook is really good. and that Ashley Eckstein does the reading of it, who I guess is the voice of Ahsoka in the series. So it's going to sound very familiar. And I guess she's a good actress
Yes.
too. So it's probably a really good read. As for Wedge's Gamble, I don't think there is an audiobook. So y'all fools are going to have to get old fashioned and read
Get the
with your
hard copy.
eyes. Get glasses like all of us and read your
And new
book.
glasses, and I'm ready to use them.
New glasses and ready to put them to good use. So yep, chapters 1 through 8 for next week. We hope you will join us, jump into this new book with us. But for now, Sexy Wookiees are signing out. So bye-bye. Move the microphone, Ronald. Sexy Wookiee.